Hey guys, so first of all, I'm gonna be filming several videos in a go, so this setting and this ain't gonna change. We are on the floor, so that's why you guys have this view of my now arranged bookcases. Kinda. Let's see how long this will last, because usually it doesn't last long. This becomes a mess really quickly. Um, anyway, I'm here to talk about my goals, reading goals for 2021. I'm putting this video out there a little bit later. People usually start talking about them, putting those videos in December. I'm filming this in December, but this is gonna go out in January. Um, and me, myself included, I have talked about some of my reading goals for the next year on previous video. I know I talked with you guys some things that I wanted to do next year, but 2020 was a year, and we all know it was something else. We all had our challenges with that year. So I decided that for 2021 I'm gonna make this year as chill as possible for myself, and I'm gonna make things as entertaining, chill, as best for myself and my mental health possible. What this means is I do still have my goals because I'm extremely competitive with my own, but I'm not gonna commit too much with too many things to put out there for you guys because I'm not sure how much I will be able to. One of the things that I wanted to do that I'm not gonna commit fully to do it would be the Portuguese authors. I was gonna make a selection of books that I would then get from my library, find the English translation. I was gonna read both of them and then talk about it and see if I could recommend a translation, or if I even recommended the book by itself, because I am terrible with Portuguese authors. Um, but the pandemic is still here to stay. I mean, we are looking at what may be the beginning of the end, but it's the beginning of the end. It's not the end of the end. It's not even the middle of the end. It's the beginning. And to do a thoroughly research and to feel that I can actually be doing those things fairly and like well enough for you guys, I do need my library. Thing is, I use online libraries that have books in English and all of that. But here in Portugal, we do not have anything like ebooks from a library. Our libraries have physical books. That's it. There is no way for you to get an ebook for at least my library and the others that I've seen so far on other places. And there is like not a place where you can get all the books online. You can go to the library at the moment. You can look at the books and you can reserve books. You can call to reserve books and then work a day to get them. But the thing I needed really was to go there, walk through the bookcases, do my own research, gather some books, um, and just be able to take an armload of books to a table, study them, see the ones that are better for what I have in mind, and go with them. I cannot do that. I can go there. I can actually, if we are wearing a mask and you have disinfected our hands and all of that, we can enter. We can look at the bookcases. We can pick up the books just barely. If you don't need to pick up a book to know what book it is, it's the best. If you need to pick up the book to read the back, it's okay. But we are not supposed to be like handling lots of books, because I mean, if we do that, we have to then take the books to the librarian, so she puts the books in quarantine, and then the books will stay. At this point, I'm not sure if it's 5 to 3 days on an isolated room, and then it will be back. So during this time, those books aren't available. And I do go at least once a month now at my library to get a armload of books for me and for my mother. But I do not feel that I should be doing all of that too much. I want to keep the library full, not full, free, and like with as many books as possible for other people that have less resources at home and that actually need the library to study, to work, and all of that. This is a very convoluted way to say that. I'm not going to be committing to that. I will try. I'm not committing to anything. What else? Okay. The other thing that I needed to talk about will be the nonfiction books. I did wanted to read more nonfiction again. I needed more of my library for that. Same explanation. I'm not gonna on my next like TBRs, challenges, and all of that. I'm not gonna commit to read any nonfiction book. That's basically how this will go. I'll still try to read some, but it's the one that is online, and there is a lot of nonfiction, historical nonfiction from Portuguese history that I wanted to read. That again I cannot because it's not here. So it's on my library. So there is that. Excuse me. Thing got in my throat. With that said, my actual goals. I'm gonna be pointing to the 300 books this year. Hopefully I will get it. I think I could easily get that onto 2020 if it wasn't for the 5 months that I basically didn't read, because I'm at this point almost on 240 if I'm not mistaken, so there's that. I'm sorry. Now that I said, I'm like, all of things are itching. I don't know why. It's probably cat hair, but anyway. Uh, where was it? Yes, the number of books. So there is that one, 300. The other one is I want to finish my finish or work through series, especially fantasy series, but some historical ones, historical fictions, but mostly fantasy series that I want to work through and maybe finish. Some of them are on my bookcases. You guys can see this bookcase, this one, and this one is all fantasy, and there's lots of books on each of those collections and on other collections that I'm reading online or on ebook that I need to finish, so I'm gonna work through that. I may do a video later on with a list of the ones that I really want to finish, not work through, just finish ones. I also want to read more from my bookshelves. I mean, on all of this, there's many books that I haven't read or that I'm working through or all of that. But this shelf right here is the one with the books that it's the books that I haven't read that I'm not completely sure if they will be keepers. There is like on my fantasy series, I have like books that I haven't read, for example, but most certainly they will be keepers even if I don't like them because they are part of a set. And on my classics, there are also some that I haven't read or am reading through them, like The Miserable that I read. All of this is Les Miserables. It's 5 volumes for me because it's an illustrated version. Really nice editions. I have read the first one, Still have the other 5 to read on this, the other 4 to read, but I'll keep. You guys got my point, right? So especially this shelf, if this were to be empty by the end of the year, I would be so happy. Empty by what I mean empty is like the books would still be on my bookshelves, but like on their other designated places, because this has somewhat of an organization by teams, somewhat. And the other, it's not a reading goal, but it's a book goal. I'm making an yearly ban from buying books, with an exception. There is the Harlequin romances that you guys can see here on top of my head. See these white books? That's my little collection of historical Harlequins. Here in Portugal, they do not come out every month. I know that, like on the UK, no, on the US, and maybe on Canada, they come out every month, or sometimes more than one. Here, no, hell no. Here in Portugal, they come every 2 months if they come out. So, on the best case scenario, I'm looking at 6 books to be added to that collection. Probably 4, because this Harlequin coming out here is like really a mess. I have to look on like 3 to I usually have 3 stores that I go look, because the books don't even come out equally on all stores, so there's that. So yeah, that's the only books that I will be getting, because there is not many people reading Harlequins here in Portugal. There's even less people here in Portugal reading historical Harlequins, but if you go on the sites that sell them on secondhand, you would be amazed by how fast the historical romances in general just go. There's like people that have huge lots that most of the times it even looks like their mothers had that collection and had like several of the collections from Harlequin, including the historicals, and the historical books are the first to vanish. I managed to get some of them in second hands. That whole shelf there is the historical romances. Most of them are Harlequin. Some of them is from another company that I think it's basically what Harlequin was called before here in Portugal or in Brazil, because I think some of those are in Brazil. Portuguese, a little percentages of those are like Portugal from Brazil, but it's going to be a little bit hard for me to read. But doable, completely doable. I can do that. Not hard because I do not understand it. It's because Portuguese from Brazil is really the sentences, and they structure sentences different sometimes, and they use words that we don't use as much. It's strange. It's completely understandable for if you are Portuguese and listening to Brazilian, or if you are Brazilian and listening to Portuguese. But there's some differences that you need to get used to. Anyway, just to say that we are few the readers that read historical Harlequins, but we are ferocious and we go to the second-hand sites and you just get everything before everyone can. So yeah, that's the only books that I'm getting, because it will be difficult to get them if I miss my chance. So that's it. I want to read my shelf, what's in my bookcases, bookshelves. Words, too many words in my head. And on my Kindle, because I have a load of books on my Kindle, and I have open library. I don't need to buy more books this year. I'm gonna save some money, so not gonna do that, and we'll strike to empty this shelf. Now, those are my basic goals. I do want to make a disclaimer of sorts, because I think I've already touched this on another video, but I wanted to touch on this again. I don't think it is needed. I'm just gonna put it out there so you guys, if you guys have any question about it. So my reading is my safe space. It's what I do to chill, basically. As you guys know, that I have anxiety, and it's like my passion, and I want to be my safe place, basically. What this means is that I will not engage in like reading political books for the sake of what's going on, or like not, and I'm not gonna be like reading, especially looking to read books with certain representations or written by certain authors or other people that. What I mean is, I'm gonna read the books I wanna read. I'm not gonna investigate the past of the authors, the color of the authors, the political things, leanings. If the authors did something on Twitter, I'm not gonna care about that. Now, as I said on the other video, there is other ways that a person can get information about that, even by just, there's news, there's YouTube, there's talking with other people, there's our life experiences. So I'm not saying that any of that is bad. I'm just saying that I'm not gonna even think about that when I'm reading, when I'm picking up books. So if I pick up a book of an author that is now being cancelled, let's say, because we have our cancel culture at the moment, I don't care about that. I don't care about what the authors do. I won't just care about the book. I'm not saying that I'm gonna run away from books with representation, or that I'm not saying that I'm gonna run away from it. I'm gonna say that I'm picking without thinking about any of those things. And to be honest, I have done that for the majority of my life. And if anything, my reading keeps getting more and more diverse, just because I'm open to lots of books. I do not look at that. I look at like, does this story looks good to me, looks entertaining, looks like I'm gonna have a good time with it, and I just pick it. Or is this subject, if it's nonfiction, something that I wanna read about, and I pick it. And to be honest, with the amount of books I read and the amount of subjects that I like, I'm pretty sure there's lots of authors of several countries and colors and like backgrounds, everything that if I go look to the books that I've read this year, on 2020, or on the past years, I'm pretty sure my reading is diverse. Does that make sense? I hope. I wanted to put this out there because I do plan to get on some challenges and some read-alongs and all of that. I will steer away from like looking for a picture of the author, or is this book has X or Y representation or anything. And you may notice that trend. I'm not gonna like actively including that on my reading. Because, as I say, it's not that I have anything against that, and I have the news, I have the people that I talk with, that it's far more diverse than that you may expect. There is lots of ways that I get that information on my life. I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna read it if the book looks good. If the book looks something that I want to pick up, I will. I'm not gonna have that in consideration when picking up a book. And I just wanted to say that because it is something that I see people advocating for, and I think that there is a lot of pressure for people to go look at those things and read books because of X, Y, and Z. And I just want 2021 books to be books that I want to read because they interest me, or because the story looks good, or because I'm on the mood to just say, to hell with it, I'm just gonna read this, even if it does. I have no idea what it is, but I kind of like how the cover looks, and I'm gonna pick it up. That said, if you do look for those things, more power to you. Okay, this is not thing. This is just me explaining why you guys are not gonna see that, because I really want to keep this my reading space a safe place and like a chill place and like something outside all of that talk, all of that, just all of it. I think you guys understand me, and you guys understand that this is not an attack on anyone. So I'm putting this out there. Also, I do think that more people, if they need to, like I feel like I need to, uh, if you need to do this, just do it. Just put this, just read what you want to read. Okay, that's what matters, and that's what we are here for. And yeah, that's basically my goals for 2021. I think this went long enough already, so I will finish this here. If you guys have any specific goals for the 2021 year, let me know. Or if you guys have the videos out, because but I'm on break and I'm not watching anything, to be honest. I'm leaving. I'm having a few. I'm cutting on my monitor time to rest my head because I spend my days on the computer. So, if you guys have any videos, let me know so I can go and check them out, okay? And that's all for now, guys. Bye.